Hey,
And we are live. This is the E3, Nintendo's E3 was part one. This podcast will only last about an hour, 10 minutes. Not too long. Everyone's going to get their opinions. I'll give my opinion last, and then we'll wrap it up. Who wants to go first?
I can go first.
Okay, George, you can go first.
Yeah, I have a lot of things to say. Now, first,
everyone wants a chance, so...
Yeah, I'm going to give everybody a chance. The Star Fox was good. I still don't think it's a true Star Fox to me, but the Star Fox was good. Next. Well, I was a little bit disappointed because I was expecting them how they were talking about a lot of third-party partnerships. We didn't even really see that, but Hyrule Warriors, you know. I'm going to try to keep it somewhat positive, but I think they could have done a lot more. I wish they would have showed off some gameplay of Fatal Frame. I know it's out in Japan, but it's still coming out in the States later on this year. So it would have been good if they could have squeezed that in. It might have made the overall digital event a little bit more better. Maybe if they would have mentioned, like how they had that whole Metroid thing. I think it was pretty good, but still, I would rather see a Metroid, a full-fledged one, on the Wii U. That's where I would rather see it on. So I'm still happy that there is a Metroid coming out, but it isn't a full-fledged one like Metroid Prime or just regular Metroid. So kind of disappointed with that, but overall, the console, I guess, was a little bit average to me. It wasn't average. I'm just trying to keep it positive, but yeah.
Okay, who wants to go next?
I'll go.
Okay.
All right. Hey guys, this is PC, and I'm a friend of Mr. Fox. Just want to say my quick piece on this Nintendo conference.
Okay.
First, I want to say thank Fox for having me on.
Cool.
Yeah, appreciate that. So overall, I'm very disappointed. I mean, to the point where I'm so upset that I'm thinking about trading my Wii U in for a PlayStation 4. And the thing about that, and hold on, and the thing about that, right, is I know the PlayStation 4 literally has no games. They have all multi-platform. That's it. And I own an Xbox One and a gaming PC.
Oh, I like this game.
So it's like I'm literally back between like a hard wall and a giant boulder. Like I don't know where to go with Nintendo.
No,
like they were talking
about the X or whatever.
They were talking about them changing. You know, they kept talking about how they're changing and stuff like that. But I don't think it's for the better. Like Star Fox looked good, but I think Star Fox should have been handed over to Platinum.
It was.
It was.
Yes, that's who's developing that game. Is Platinum.
Ooh, that doesn't look that good.
Well, I mean, you have to remember with Nintendo games, they start out, they don't look that good, but as time goes on, so if it looks, I mean, right now it looked pretty good to me, but I know it's going to look better by the time it releases. So
yeah, well, okay, well, we'll see on that one. Then they spent like a lot of time on Amiibo stuff, which is okay, but they really shouldn't have did that. That should have been more of a Treehouse thing, that Amiibo stuff, especially the stuff with the Yoshi. The girl kept talking about Yoshi with the yarn Yoshi, and I wasn't too into that. I was watching this with my wife, and she was falling asleep on it. And
really, she didn't fall asleep on Sony's press conference?
No. Sadly, we were both at work, so I think Sony's. Just a quick thing about Sony. The funny thing about it is people were congratulating Sony on like Final Fantasy and Shenmue, but those are not exclusives.
They're all multiplats. I mean, we don't need to get into that. This is just Nintendo. Sorry, let's keep it.
Just right back to Nintendo. The Metroid thing was a complete disappointment. I would have loved to see a 2D Metroid in the vein of Metroid Zero Mission on the 3DS, or even like a Metroid Hunters 2, Metroid Prime Hunters 2. We got some type of like a crossbreed type of thing, and some type of mini game like a soccer game. I'm not into that. The Animal Crossing game for the Wii U is a board game, dude. We just had Mario Party.
Yeah.
just had Mario Party. I didn't buy that because I hate Mario parties because they don't have Wi-Fi. I live in South Carolina. Mostly all my friends from college, they live in upstate New York, Buffalo, California. I don't get to see them, So I'm not gonna play this game with my children and my wife. They don't want to play with me,
Cool.
So it's just like it's just kind of messed up. And let me just wrap up with what else? They took too long on the whole Mario Maker thing. Like we already knew about the game since last year, and they were showing it for the past year. Why that much time? It's almost like they had nothing to show. Like they're holding everything back for the NX. That's how I feel, and I feel like they're just treating the Wii U like it's garbage. And for me personally, once again, I'm a Nintendo fan. If I show you guys my collection, I probably got more stuff than any of you guys. And it's just I can't support this no more. I can't do it. So those are my thoughts.
All right, who wants to go next?
I will. I kind of share the same sentiments.
Mm-hmm.
I think, I honestly, my honest opinion, I think their conference was underwhelming. I think they had spent too much time on Mario Maker. I get that it was his 30th year anniversary and the whole play create thing, and this whole transforming thing. I don't know. I just don't feel that they're putting the Wii U in the greatest place right now. I feel that they're I think I'm starting to believe the conspiracy theories that a lot of the stuff they're just holding back from the NX, which sounds ridiculous, but I don't know. I think Nintendo is really, really, really in desperate mode right now, and I don't know. I don't want Nintendo to be like Microsoft and Sony for sure. I don't. That would be the last. But when it comes to the whole third-party support, I would like to see unique third-party exclusive support by Nintendo. They don't need to have games like The Witcher or Bethesda's broken games. They don't need to have stuff like that. I just wish they would collaborate with third parties more and create something unique, something that's Nintendo. That's just honestly how I feel.
Okay, who wants to go next?
I'll go next.
Okay then.
So, just to kind of lay things aside before I went into this, obviously we've already had the individual Smash announcement, we've already had a major announcement showing you all the things from Xenoblade, and we've had a few sort of announcements to do with Devil's Third and the likes, before going into this. So for me, what's coming in the next 6 months, I already know. Nintendo didn't have to tell me. And then obviously we've got Zelda going way forward. So for me, I guess the biggest underwhelming side isn't the lack of content, because the content's already all been announced. We know about Yoshi, we know about Xenoblade, we know about Fire Emblem crossovers and all this kind of stuff. It was the lack of any bomb for the future, I suppose. As some of the guys maybe said, it felt like a treehouse. I have no issues with some of the things said. I liked the, as a Skylanders player, I liked the little quirky swap over type thing going on there. I liked some of the little things they showed you in Mario Maker, where if you put your amiibo on, you can play as the Wii Fit Trainer or Samus or whoever it may be. But it felt like a treehouse. I didn't, feel a lack of content. It was just very maybe add-on-y and little, here's something we've shown you and here's a little bit more, rather than big announcements. And I guess that's the underwhelming side for me.
Okay.
But look at it this way. This has happened before. Nintendo has a bad digital event, and 3 months down the line they have a direct that everybody loves. I mean, that has happened before. Remember a couple of years ago when people thought Nintendo had a bad direct. Oh, Super Mario 3D World just looks like a port. And then a few months down the line they had another direct, and everybody was like, hooray. So
Yeah, I mean, as I said, it all depends on what you're into as well. I mean, 3DS got quite a bit in this. I like
Yeah.
the last Mario Luigi game, and this crossover with Paper Mario actually looks really good to me.
Yeah, I'm
It's
totally getting it.
it's 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 not the big Wii U announcement I was waiting for, but it's certainly a game I'm going to pick up.
you
Yeah.
know, Nintendo really doesn't need E3. Like they could fail at E3.
Yeah, well, I mean, I have something to say about that, but I want everyone to go with their turn, and then we'll get to the. Oh snap! Someone just left. Oh well, he might come back. Okay, who else? Whose turn is it?
I'll be right.
Are you still? Are you not finished? Highlander Gamer.
I was that was most of it. I mean, other than that, as I say, I just wanted to mention that obviously Platinum doing Star Fox is quite good. The mechanics and things looks really interesting. The little treehouse bit after it. I just look forward to the polish. Let's get direct in like 2-3 months time and let's see what they're at there.
Yep, and they're gonna have an August Direct when they roll out the Nintendo, what their new membership program is gonna be, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, like, never mind. Who wants to go? I'll get into that. Who else wants to go?
I'll be right before you, Red Fox.
Okay, then we have who else has to go?
I think it's more. TGP hasn't said anything yet.
Yeah, TGP. Go, TGP.
TGP, ¿estás ahí?
I think he's gone.
¿Cómo estás?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, go.
So it's Nintendo's E3 conference. Do you like puppets? No? Fuck you, we don't care. Instead of financing a new game, we're going to spend God knows what into this carefully crafted puppet show. What the fuck do you think we are? A gaming company?
Dude.
And here's Star Fox. Why would you want to play on your big TV when you can play in the teeny tiny screen of the gamepad? And here's all the games we announced months ago, and a bunch of Mario spin-offs. So, to wrap up the event, here's a crappy montage of fan renditions of the Super Mario theme that sounds like ass. The end. I hate it. Fuck you. That's my opinion.
Okay, Triple M, it's your turn.
Okay, coming out from the harsh and to a bit light-hearted.
Dancing into the light. Go ahead, Triple M. Take it away.
But here's the thing. I already said this before that Nintendo has had a blowout last year, so maybe even 2 years in a row, if you depending how you view it. But for me, I was like, there's going to be a time that Nintendo has to power down, and lo and behold, today was that day. And all the blowout that Nintendo did weeks before the E3, that really, for me, I think that really made put some sort of a false hope, but at the same time, those leaks were also was kind of disastrous even for E3.
Detrimental.
Yeah.
It was actually detrimental for E3.
Yep.
But yeah. Now after watching the digital event, I kind of felt like the announcement that they've done that weren't leaked could have been put in here. But I see where they were going for the whole 30-year anniversary thing. But okay, here's how I see this. They showed actually I actually love the Muppet thing because I'm a Muppets fan. But, yeah. I'm gonna carry on. Then we got Star Fox.
Yep.
Like, cool. But then when he said about the it's not a remake or a reimagining, it's just a different take, and I'm like, some or most fans are not gonna be happy about this, but I digress. Since this is they finally revealed it, I'm gonna hold my breath and see where this goes. and then they showed oh crap, I just lost it. Anyway, I'll just on the top of my head, they showed you Yoshi Woolly Wood, Woolly Wool, which yes, too much talking and not enough gameplay. Which, I, like Gordon said, that could have been in a live tree house and not for the digital event. But moving on, then there were two Animal Crossing games. One on the 3DS that was the crap, I forgot the subtitle of that one. But yeah,
Housemaker or something like that.
Yeah, Housemaker.
You don't have to go into each one. I mean, there's a board game one, and then there's one for the 3DS with card amiibos.
Yeah, they weren't really games so much as mini games, but yeah.
Yeah, the one with the one for the Wii U that's a board game. I knew some people are going to hate this, and lo and behold,
it's not for you. But go ahead, keep on going. I'm sorry, keep on going.
But then here's the thing with me. I'm a Mario fan, and even some of the spin-off I don't even like. But because they're different enough, it would be a disappointment to me. But I'm not gonna bash the game for just being different. But if it comes out and the game actually be a poor man's job, then yes, I'll be cussing. Which most of the time, when it comes to Mario spin-off, it's not the case. Except for Mario Party. I'm looking at you. Yes, I'm looking at you. Yeah, anyway, then there's the Mario Luigi Paper Smash, which I am actually pleasantly surprised, even though I am not a fan of the Paper Mario games.
Okay, you have to leave here right now. You have to go. I'm being facetious. Continue.
You know what? I'll fall into that trap, and let me say this: I hate the art style or the artwork, but I'm willingly enough to actually play the game.
Okay.
Play the game.
Cool.
But, yeah. Let's see if I'm gonna fall in love on that in that way, because hey, I hated Wind Waker, and after playing it, I love it.
Okay. All right. Okay. So you're almost to the end because there's like maybe 2 more games left, I think.
Yeah. And then I really kept my expectation low because I'm seeing, like I said before, last year was a blowout. There's going to be a time they got the power down, and this was the case. But then what really gripes me is when they went full blown out with the Super Mario Maker, which I would have been fine with it if they've never put that game in the Nintendo World's Championship, because in that tournament almost everything was shown of Super Mario Maker, which in the digital event, yeah, you guys really hammered down on us with that. and this is coming from a Mario fan.
Fanboy. Are you done?
I do have my limits, but yeah, pretty much. Oh, but yeah,
One last thing.
Yeah. One of you said that they could have put oh crap! What was that horror game again?
Fatal Frame in there.
Thank you very much. I can't believe I can't remember the name.
Yeah, Shrine of the Maiden. Yeah.
But I kind of see it like what they did with Project Treasure when they didn't put the trailer in the mini direct.
Yeah.
And I felt that Fatal Frame would be way over the top than Project Treasure. So at one point, or at one side, I kind of give them a pass. But then at the other side, I have to say, you're going to do this. Prepared to have people disappointed. But I digress, because last year they did this kind of the same thing, which they leave something out of the digital event last year and announced games in the Treehouse, which I might probably think that they might do it again.
Okay, cool. All right. I guess it's up to me. My God, I have to be the voice of reason here. Okay, then. First, throw away your hype.
Well,
A lot of you people, no. A lot of you people got hyped up. A lot of people got hyped up. They did. They were like, man, it's gonna be awesome. And I almost fell into the same trap, but I didn't, because 25 years of gaming, you learn not to get hyped up on graphics and, well, this is XYZ. So what did I think of the event? Was it as good as last year's? No. They didn't show anything that we didn't know was coming to the Wii U, or suspect, or could have guessed. But in terms of doing what they needed to do, they actually did. Here's what you guys need to understand about Nintendo, that Microsoft and Sony don't really have to be worried about. Nintendo makes games for everyone. Literally.
Oh
Okay?
yes, I got that in my head.
They don't make games just for, hardcore fans. So while there's a lot of people like, man, I don't give a shit about no damn Animal Crossing, I hate Animal Crossing. I really do. It's one of the most boring-ass games I've ever played. And I'm saying this as a hardcore Harvest Moon fan. With that being said, there are people who will go and buy this game. It'll be like a million seller over time, probably a million plus.
Oh
So,
yeah, Animal Crossing's huge.
yeah, so, I mean, what? We're going to get mad at them because they're going to release a title to make money?
Yeah, you bring up a good point. Because
Secondly, they also address the hardcore crowd. Star Fox. Let me tell you right now, all you fanboy, oh, I love Star Fox.
You
This better
better
be the
play
highest.
this game.
This better be the highest selling Star Fox in Nintendo history. And I better not hear, I don't like this Star Fox. Fuck you. That's what I got to say to you people who said that. Number two,
Fox, hold on, wait a minute. I am a mega Star Fox fan. I bought
I
every
am too. I own all of them. But
No,
my point is that there were no. I'm not saying, when I say fuck you, I don't mean you personally. I mean the people who said that. Because here's my issue: there were people who were trolling Miiverse and Twitter over Star Fox. And when people are aggravating folks who have nothing to do with the issue and starting bullshit, then you need to put your money where your mouth is. But I'm old school like that. Sorry.
I mean, but you already know people that are hating are nothing but fags anyway, so you shouldn't be paying them no attention. They don't control your walk.
I'm just saying, you need to put your money where your mouth is. Like, I'm a Star Fox fan. I'm going to get this game. I'm going to get Xenoblade Chronicles X, and my life will be destroyed after I get that game. I just know it. But I digress. I'm going to continue. They talked about Super Mario Maker. I'm going to get that. Why? Not because I want to make levels that other people can play, but so that I can play other people's devilishly hard levels. Because I saw some of the sick shit those Nintendo Treehouse people made for those people at the Nintendo World Championships, and those people get paid to do that. I wonder what people who don't have a job or have some free time on their hands and just well, let's see how trollish I can make this level.
Yeah,
I
the
can't wait
opposite.
for it.
I want to sit and make levels. I'm not the biggest Mario platformer, professional. I'm not the amazing
Exactly.
game, but I would love to sit there and make levels and watch you guys try and play them.
Exactly. Okay, and that's why I want that. So that game actually does resonate with me. Then they showed Next Level Games game, which is apparently Metroid Federation Force or whatever it's called, where you get to play as the Marines. Personally speaking, that's Next Level Games. They haven't shown Retro's game yet. They might be holding on to it for next year. I know some people are saying that they believe that the NX is going to be Nintendo's next console. I disagree. Because here's what you guys need to understand. Right now, Nintendo, the only thing that's really holding Nintendo forward is their fan base. If they released the NX and said, fuck you to the Wii U, they would screw over their fan base. Kind of like how Xbox One screwed over Xbox 360 fans with no backwards compatibility right?
Yeah, I see your point.
Okay,
Hold on, but
yeah,
fine. But literally though, look back at that Nintendo Direct and
yeah.
tell me what that's coming up in the next 6 months that you didn't know about that you're excited for. Let me know. Mario Tennis?
Actually, that looks kind of interesting. No,
Like in Mario Tennis.
the
Actually,
only thing.
I actually
Come on,
want Mario.
No, no. Here's the thing. There's shit that I'm looking forward to that I know that's coming that wasn't in the direct, and there's shit that I'm looking forward to that I heard that's coming that wasn't in the direct. Like literally, this direct. There's tons of stuff that Nintendo has coming out in the next 6 months that wasn't in the direct. That they're probably going to show in the Treehouse because there wasn't time. Because you have to remember, this direct was made maybe a month ago, 2 months ago.
There's games that are coming as well that haven't even been mentioned in anything Nintendo. I mean, if you look at, there's Legend of, is it Kai or something, and then Skyward Soldier, which haven't had any Nintendo advertisement whatsoever, but it's coming to the Wii U.
I mean, but I digress. I digress. Star Fox is coming out. They announced it. I know they gave us definitive dates for 2 games that we knew about, but they're finally giving us concrete dates so I can get my wallet ready. Not my body, my wallet, and give them my money. Now, finally, to address the Muppet haters here. First of all, let me explain a little something to you young folk. Those were Jim Henson Muppets. Okay?
Yes.
I want you to go and sit down and look up Jim Henson. And then I want you to take a corded rope and purge yourself for how dare you disrespect Jim Henson.
No, you get me wrong.
Have made some of the best.
Don't get. I said carefully crafted puppets. The Jim Henson's quality shows up, but how much did it cost to make those bits? Why would Nintendo just invest that freaking money on making games instead of
I don't know how much it costs for
show?
them to get the Jim Henson
I have a clue. A shit ton of money.
No, I don't know how much it
It's
cost for them to
expensive.
do that. I guarantee it was cheaper than it cost for Microsoft to port that Mustang GT into the roof and lower it down to their conference.
For them, for
Sony's
Microsoft,
beta access.
Yeah, I bet it was cheaper than that.
and Microsoft could spend that money on opening God knows how many indie studios or
Look,
financing
these
a
fuckers
triple A game.
These
And the
fuckers spent
same
$100
mistake
on a new
was made
controller.
by Nintendo. Yeah, I love the video with the puppets, but it's not currently Nintendo should spend the money on making content for the Wii U.
But hold on. The whole thing with the Muppets and the whole thing with the Robot Chicken stuff, that wasn't the problem this year. The Muppet thing, that was funny.
The actual content itself is what people are having the issue with. And that's the thing.
Irrelevant. That's irrelevant.
You know,
If there's people making fun of Nintendo about the Muppet thing,
No, it's
they're
the
fucking-
content. It's
yeah,
the
you
content.
understand. Those
And
people
the people,
that are hating on that are insane.
yeah, and the people that I'm seeing the people that I'm seeing that are disappointed are, generally speaking, you have people who are like are like two, maybe two and a half camps. You have people who are generally just Nintendo haters, or faux, or what I call them. Then you've got the faux Nintendo fans. Then you have people who got a little too hyped up.
Yeah, we did. I
And
mean,
the thing is, look, when you go into a Nintendo anything, you basically have to temper your expectations. Expect nothing. Basically, here's the thing, okay? If you go into a Nintendo presentation expecting just to get some information, you're going to enjoy it. It's going to be entertaining. If you go in and expect to have your socks blown off, you're never going to live up to that hype. It's kind of like the first time you get with a girl. I mean, if you have all these expectations, you're not going to have a good time.
Okay, but Fox, what about when Nintendo was constantly teasing Metroid, and then they give us that? Metroid and Donkey
Hold on.
Metroid and Donkey Kong, Super Metroid on the stage,
Yeah.
Reggie rocking shirts, pins, and then you
Yeah.
get a 3DS game like that looks like that. It's not
Yeah.
Metroid. It's not classic Metroid. It's not Metroid
It's
Hunter.
not meant to be. It's a spin-off.
Listen to me. That shit will. Listen to me. I can tell you right now. Within 1 year, I'll put money on this. It's not going to sell 1 million units. I guarantee.
I guarantee it will.
Take me up on that bet right now. PayPal. me.
Okay, I'll bet you. No, I'll bet you $5 eShop points.
No. I got $50. I'll buy you a brand new game. I'm a man of my word.
I don't want 50. I don't want your $50. I'm doing small. I'm doing small time bets. Because then if I lose, I don't get hurt.
Okay, that's fine too. $5.
$5 eShop credits.
$5.
Nothing. Nothing. It's very little. But my point is that I think it will sell, and I'll tell you why I think it will sell. Because the game got Metroid on it. It looks fun. It's got multiplayer, online multiplayer. Might even have voice chat.
No.
See, for me,
See, how do you know that? You don't know if it doesn't have voice chat.
I'm looking at it from a different point of view. If you've got the new 3DS, you know, the new 3DS has new shoulder buttons, it has the new C-Stick. We've played a couple of games that came out, kind of like indie games that had that kind of first-person shooter type sort of feel to them. So if we can just for 1 second let go of the Metroid name title on this game, it's a game focused around the new control methods of the new 3DS. And not only that, if you do play that and you do get into those kind of games and feel and what have you, it's almost a build-up between the 3DS and the Wii U. If you want to then go and play, you know, Wii U games that have similar control methods and feels and things. So for me, I mean, okay, it's not the most polished-looking game. It's not a traditional Metroid in, you know, the newer, older sort of, you know, either platforming or older sort of methods. But, you know, Nintendo can't win with any of that anyway. You know, like if you do something one way, it's like, oh, you're not innovating. If you try something new, it's like, oh, you didn't give us the old thing. You know?
No, the thing is that they're not like, and as far as Metroid goes, they like literally, okay, the team developing that game is Next Level Games.
Level
Right?
5.
No. The Federation Force is Next Level Games, or not Next Level. The dudes who made Luigi's Mansion on the 3DS. Yeah, you're right. It is level 5.
I think it looks interesting.
But
And,
here's
here's the thing. They still haven't showed what Retro is working on, because we know they're working on something. We don't know.
So why not bring it out at E3, the biggest stage on the planet?
Is it?
The
Like,
reality
here's the thing. E3 is a big. Let's get real. E3 is a big dick measuring contest between Microsoft and Sony, where they spend huge amounts of money to say we've got exclusive content for the next 3 months from Activision, Ubisoft, or EA.
The E3 in reality.
Okay.
E3 in reality is more becoming more of a
Yeah.
dinosaur.
With the advent of streaming and YouTube and Twitch, E3 is becoming increasingly more irrelevant. And that thought is what keeps websites like Kotaku and IGN, like, they wake up at night with their buttholes clenched at the idea of E3 and Gamescom, all these little conferences where they get their exclusivity deals and their little interviews shut down or turned into a more viewer-friendly environment and not journalist-friendly environment.
Like honestly, I would want everybody to do a direct of some sort, because
Yeah.
think of it this way: Nintendo can bomb. They can just bomb at E3 with. And I'm speaking about the general public. They can
Yeah.
bomb at E3
They could
and
and release direct.
a few months later,
Exactly.
and people will love them again. So it's just.
You know, I mean, because I went on Francis's website and someone got mad at me because I said, like, E3 does not matter anymore. It doesn't. It's a dick measuring contest between Microsoft and Sony, and
See,
with third parties at their feet catching all the stuff that drips down and the money catching the money. That's all it is.
That Final Fantasy could have been announced any time of the year, and it was still have gotten the same amount of praise.
Okay.
Exactly.
I think there's two ways to look at E3, and that is, as you're kind of saying a little bit there, with the kind of the older kind of condensed press conference sort of side of things. If you look at Sony and Microsoft, yeah, what they tried to do was, third party or otherwise, they try and get everything they can into this press conference, so their fan base have that 1 hour a year to go online and watch this one conference, and that's cool if that's what you want. And if that's what you were expecting from Nintendo to cover everything they're going to bring out in the next 2 years in a 1 hour conference,
You are insane.
then you're wrong. What Nintendo looks at E3 for is, let's get down on the show floor, let's get you hands-on things, let's give you little bits of information, so on and so forth. I mean, I'd still expect the Direct to be slightly more impacting than a Treehouse, but they're looking at it as the bigger haul. They're looking at the whole week. How many things can we show you? How many things can we get you in on? Let's create a full experience of, this is everything Nintendo can offer you, I guess, rather than just big, impactful trailers. I mean, the biggest thing, not to go too much into what the other guys were doing, but yeah, they were big, huge, graphical things, but, other than maybe Ubisoft's show, there was next to no gameplay in anything shown.
Everything Nintendo showed, they showed gameplay. No,
Okay, but
no CG trailers. This is shit. Someone was actually playing it on the system. On the system.
okay, listen. Okay, now I just want to rebuttal the things that you guys said real quick.
Yeah.
Now, in regards to E3, no matter how much you guys want to play E3 off, E3 isn't. To people that are not like me and you, hardcore fans, I'm talking about people that are non-gamers, because you know what? There was people that don't own any system that were at my job yesterday watching E3.
Oh, I agree.
Because
That's cool.
it's so
That's
big.
cool.
Yeah, because it's so big. Now, what I'm saying for Nintendo is, if they had something from Retro, like a Metroid or a different type of IP, it doesn't have to be Metroid, just anything that we did not see coming besides a Animal Crossing board game and a Mario Tennis, then they should have brought that out. They spent way too much time talking about the 30th anniversary of Mario, because we just had the 25th anniversary a couple years ago. They could. That's a Treehouse thing that they could have did right there. Miyamoto could have showed that clip in the Treehouse. Now, as far as Sony and Microsoft, yes, that is outdated. But guys, those websites gets more clicks than Player Essence. Player Essence is the only website that I go to get my information for gaming. But you cannot deny that IGN, Kotaku, and all those stuff don't have influence, because they do, on people that are not like me and you.
Yeah.
It's just the facts about it. You guys can deny that shit all day. That's the facts.
Oh no, I completely agree. I mean, if you look at the Xbox conference, the three things I took out from that conference was backwards compatibility, new awesome tuned controller, and rare stuff. Now that's what I took from it as an old school sort of longer sort of gamer. Anybody else that looked at that went, meh, overpriced controller. Who cares about old games? I just want my shooters. Like, it's different and everybody's going to have different impressions. Everybody's going to have different things that they want to play and that they enjoy.
Subjective. And I do agree that E3 is, for some reason it sounds like someone's packed. Whatever. I do agree that E3 is still, to the average consumer, kind of like, a lot of people do pay attention to it, but that is diminishing. Even now, it's kind of like Call of Duty. Call of Duty still makes Activision a lot of money, but that is diminishing.
Okay, now my brother, he's in the military. He grew up playing the same games I grew up on. Okay, he doesn't own a Wii U. He doesn't own an Xbox One. He doesn't own a PlayStation. My brother called me up last night. My brother is he's in Iraq right now, on a ship. He called me up last night before I saw Final Fantasy VII Remake being revealed, because I was at work. That's something that's important to him. He wouldn't have saw that without E3, because he doesn't really check the websites. He's not into that.
No, I understand that, but wouldn't it? But if E3 didn't exist in today's society, couldn't have Sony or Square Enix had that streamed and it still would have gotten to him?
See, that's the thing. Probably not, because of his friends that are communicating, and these are non-gamers. They're like, oh man, a Final Fantasy remake, yo, I'm buying a PlayStation. But I had to explain to him, hey, it's a multiplayer. You can buy it on any console. Now, he's not.
I don't know.
gonna-
Final Fantasy would find its way to Facebook. I think everybody would know about that.
No,
shit.
my point, because I went on Huffington Post and it was there. My point is that E3 is in the advent of new forms to get information out and to control the message that you're giving out. It has become increasingly, because E3 was initially a offshoot, as you know, of CES. CES was there for the consumer. E3, after about 2-3 years, started to become less about consumers and more about the industry patting itself on the back. Hey, look at this. And then it got worse and worse and worse. It was bad enough when it was just Sega, Sony, and Nintendo. But when Sega left and Microsoft stepped in, it got exponentially worse. Okay?
And think how much we get lied to at E3. Like, the last few years, it's just been
Yeah, they
lying.
keep like I didn't believe that HoloLens shit. I was like, no, because here's the thing, you can use computer there's programs where you can put holograms and shit in a camera and make it look like it's actually physically there. You can do that with actually, ironically enough, Windows software. So until I see it with my own two eyes, I'm not trusting shit from Microsoft about that. It looks cool, but hell, a lot of things look cool before you actually do it.
It's like a concept car, though. You're really going to get the same experience.
Well, I'm not really condemning Nintendo, saying that they had the worst E3, and I didn't go into it having over expectations, because I understand they have to get, they have to show games that are coming out, but I just feel like once again they took too much time on it. In regards to Microsoft and Nintendo, Microsoft, the only thing that matters to me was the backwards compatibility. But the thing about that should have been in from the beginning. So it's not really.
And look, man, you don't have to tell me. I just did a video. I released a video yesterday talking about that. I was like, this shit should. The Xbox One should have not had. They shouldn't have put money into the Kinect, and the shit should have. The shit should have launched with backwards compatibility. I guarantee you, had the Xbox One been $299 at launch, sorry, $399. Well, $299 at launch. What it is now, no Kinect and backwards compatibility. Because all of those Xbox 360 people would have said, well, not all of them, but maybe 10, 15, 20% would have been like, well, hell, I can keep all my stuff and just walk on over. It's kind of like I didn't feel bad about putting away my Wii and going to a Wii U because I could transfer all my shit over. So it was like I don't have to go and rebuy all these games and rebuy all my content and rebuy all my saves from my old game. But I don't know why. I don't know why backwards compatibility has become a bad word in this industry.
Because you're from a generation that loves value. You understand? You love value. So when you see something like backwards compatibility, you're thinking that's a norm because you grew up with that. Okay?
Whoa. I grew up with it on handhelds.
And they had things, the Sega Genesis and the Sega Master System that was backwards compatible, stuff like that. But and the thing with Sony was, only thing people were going to talk about, first of all, I believe that The Last Guardian is a crossover game. I mean, meaning that's going to be on PlayStation.
It looked like a really nice
PS3 game. Yeah, the graphics did not look better. Yeah.
Yes, I think it's going to be a PS3 and a PS4 game. And once again, you got Shenmue, which is a Kickstarter that they couldn't even fund themselves.
Nope.
I donated $60 to that thing last night because I want to see Shenmue. Not necessarily on the PlayStation 4. I'll get it on my PC. It doesn't matter what system it's on.
You know what would be great?
Most of Sony's conference I'm going to buy on PC.
You know what would be great if they released it on Dreamcast, because they're still releasing games on the Dreamcast, and I still got my Dreamcast.
Listen to me. If they did that, I'll pay $200 for that. That's how much of a fan of that series I am. And then, as far as just like what you guys were saying about Final Fantasy, being it's a PC port and an Xbox One port. So the Sony conference was garbage. So was the Microsoft one. The Nintendo.
Sorry. Yeah, go.
And the Nintendo one was almost on the same level because they didn't show Like they just didn't do what I think that they needed to do. Yes, they did get the casual gamers involved with the Animal Crossing, and those games are not necessarily for me. But I do play Animal Crossing, the regular one. And yes, I'll probably buy the one on the 3DS. Me and my wife, when I buy a 3DS game, I usually buy 2 copies for me and my wife because me and my wife
You got your wife into gaming?
Oh, bruh, listen to me. What game did she just take down? She took down Persona 4 on the PlayStation 2. Like she just beat it.
That is a good game too.
Ooh.
So you already know when Persona 5 comes out, I'm gonna get it, and she's gonna play it. So
that's the only reason I still have my PS3. That and Yakuza 5.
Fox, me and you are brothers from a different mother. Really, you understand?
That's the only reason. That's the only reason. But that's the only thing. I'm like, I would trade this SOB in because I don't even put Blu-rays on the damn thing. I'm just waiting for Persona 5.
See, that's the thing is like I hope I'm not talking too much for you guys. I just want to get a couple points off before I have to shoot off to work. But
yeah, and then we'll get these questions after you're done. Go ahead.
But I used to be a hardcore Sony fan, but I was an all the way around gamer. No matter what system it came out for, if it had one game on it I wanted, I'll buy it. It's at full price. It doesn't matter to play that one game, and then other games will come eventually. But the PlayStation 3 was a disappointment to me. The only system I don't currently own is a PlayStation 4 because I feel like there's nothing on it for me, that I want. And Persona 5 I can get on PlayStation 3.
Exactly.
Jump Ultimate Stars I can get on PlayStation 3.
Come on, man. That game was not very good.
See, I guess the interesting thing I found from this conference is just, as I say, the different takes from the different companies. I mean, if we look at last year's ones where, I think Sony and Xbox pretty much had the same idea, but Sony took huge advantage of going second and throwing a few digs in at Microsoft, and they won over a few sort of fans from that. But I think the big thing when you look at Microsoft, yeah, okay, they didn't have backwards compatibility to begin with. Yeah, they didn't have some of these other things, but it really seems like of the three, laying aside, all sort of bias and everything, it seems like they're trying to broaden their audience again. It looks like they're trying to get some more colorful games in there. It looks like they're trying to say, well, look, if you've got your 360 and you haven't upgraded yet or whatever, we'll allow you to across.
This is what
hardcore gamer and you're used to playing with the old Sidewinder controllers and stuff on the PC. Here's the controller for you.
This proves one thing to me. This proves one thing to me with Microsoft and that new controller and the Xbox One's backwards compatibility. Basically, all that stupid shit that was on the Xbox One 2 years ago that Don Matrick signed off on was being made only proves one thing to me. Don Matrick is a terrible CEO.
Excuse me, but how much does that controller cost? Does anybody know?
$150.
Oh,
what?
That's not surprising.
How much is it?
It's not confirmed. It's an RRP of $150.
Yeah, $150 with all the custom things on it.
Well,
but it hasn't hit a shop yet, so we don't know officially.
It's a break-apart controller, and those controllers are really expensive. So
I'm gonna tell you right now. Well, all of the controllers nowadays. I remember back in the day, you could get an SNES controller for like $10, $15.
But I mean, have you guys looked at this closely, like what the controller can do? It's got analog sticks that are convex and in the way that you can switch over.
Let me put it this way. I'm not spending
analog triggers like.
Man, let me put it this way. I'm not spending.
I've seen in years.
Man, let me put it this way. I'm not spending $150 on a controller unless it comes with a hot chick who will perform certain favors for me on command. Then I might spend $150 on the controller.
If it works for feedback, I'm buying it for the PC, man. I haven't had a Sidewinder controller in years, and this thing looks like the next generation Sidewinder. Like, I want it.
It could be. I don't know. We got to get to these questions, then we can end it because this is going to be a short podcast. Okay, so this first one comes from Anderson Archilla. So Star Fox Zero is a reimagining of 64, and it's being made by Platinum. You think this will help it succeed? Who wants to answer that one?
I think it'll do all right. I mean, Platinum has a pretty, wide name. People love Platinum, so if Platinum's name's on it, yeah, I think it'll be successful.
Well, I have something to add. That Platinum is a third-party studio. Nintendo's giving them Star Fox, which is like there's a second tier first party IP for them. So they trust a third party studio with a second tier first party IP. Yeah, that's pretty. That's pretty smart. That's trusting somebody.
If we look at Hyrule Warriors, it done pretty damn well.
Yeah. So in addition, the second question, once again from Anderson Archilles. In addition to Fatal Frame Maiden of the Blackwater, there's also a new trailer for Chibi Robo 3DS. So I guess there's still more info to come. Yeah, like in order to get Nintendo's entire E3, like I think kind of like how last year there was all this extra shit that came out during the Treehouse. But the thing is, like, I've got other shit to do this week, so I'm gonna have to go and look up like the extra stuff because it's too much information. Like literally, if they want to put all the information in their E3 down, in their thing, it would be like 2 hours long.
Yeah, they showed the Chibi Robot amiibo in the YouTube sort of like mid between conference bits. They had a girl go on and talk about how it would make the new sort of you turn gold and you get higher powers and that sort of stuff. They didn't show any footage, but it was pretty cool.
Comes with the game too, thank God. So this will defeat those damn scalpers. They gotta buy the game if they're gonna buy the damn amiibo. Bastards. So who wants to answer that question?
Yeah, I mean Nintendo, sometimes on Tuesday nights during their roundtable discussions, they have big announcements, but nobody's gonna count that because it wasn't in the press conference. So,
wait, man.
We only count the press.
First of all, they didn't have a press conference. They didn't have a press conference last year.
Or their digital direct, which Nintendo really has always been kind of weird when it comes to E3.
Well, they do things their own way. Nintendo it's a Japanese company, and for me,
the possibility of another trailer.
Yeah, doesn't Nintendo have directs throughout the year anyway, and with increasing frequency? What's not to say there won't be bombshells later on, or even now during the Treehouse stream? Anderson Archilla, we already talked about that.
Give me more Devil's Third now.
It could happen. Yeah, I just want to see that chick with the nice ass in the kimono. That's all I need to see.
It just screams Duke Nukem for me. Like, just give me more.
Yeah, I mean, look, Fatal Frame Maiden of Blackwater is coming in the fall. Apparently, anyone interested? I'm gonna get it because that's gonna be Nintendo's Rise, Son of Rome, or Sony's Order 1886. But I think it'll be better than both of those games.
I mean, I'm gonna get it. I own every Fatal Frame, even the one on the 3DS. So I'm a fan.
Okay, so next level games. Next game is a Metroid title, not the one many wanted, but it proves Metroid as a series is not dead. At least you think this is the handheld title that'll precede the console one. To be fair, I do, because like people make the mistake that Nintendo doesn't hear their fan base, when that's not entirely true. It's just like Nintendo very rarely releases shitty games. Even their quote-unquote budget titles are still pretty damn good. So like they aren't going to show something unless it's ready to be shown, And if it's not ready to be shown, it's not ready to be shown. I'd rather them take their time and have the shit look good than have an accident on stage, like with Uncharted, where their little thing skipped. Yeah, it skipped, and they were like, "Oh shit, we gotta start all over again." Yeah. And no one's gonna mention that one because Sony can walk on water.
I think it's a good idea, because we haven't had a Metroid in a little while, is just to kind of test the water. I mean, just to go back a little bit, and we were talking about the whole Paper Mario kind of crossover Mario Luigi. Like, the first thing I thought of when I saw that wasn't the old school Paper Mario games. It was, wait a minute, I've seen these sort of mechanics before in A Link to the Past.
That's the next question. You hold it for the next question.
Okay. Anyway, it was just to say that I think things will develop going forward. So whatever they test on the 3DS, they'll try new things out the Wii U.
I don't care what anyone says. The shit looks fun. Plus, it's very low risk. Okay, like that game could only sell 200,000 and probably make its budget back. If it sells above 200,000, it'll probably be profitable for them. So. I hope it sells more than that, though. Who would have thought we'd get a Paper Mario cross Mario and Luigi title? I wouldn't. You could hit me over the head, and I would not have. I'm playing Mario and Luigi Dream Team right now on my 3DS, and I didn't see it coming. Gordon, take it.
I love Dream Team. Yeah, so for me, like as I say, the first thing I saw, I didn't think Paper Mario. Like Paper Mario, kind of graphically and stuff. Yeah, cool. But for me, like the mechanics and how it actually works and things, it was very sort of linked to the past. Like, oh, you know, you can go into the walls, and you can slip through gaps that you couldn't normally, and things like that. So now you've got Dream Team, which is Mario crossed with an RPG, crossed with so many other things, and now you've got elements of Link Between Worlds and Paper Mario in there. Like, no, I didn't see it coming. I hope they do more.
Well, people said that they were working on a Paper Mario game, and I'll be damned, the leaks were right on that one. But it's better than Paper Mario because it's got Mario and Luigi too. You've got the two
one of the
best
best Mario, like runs with this franchise in a long time. The Mario Luigi games, on handhelds, like as I say, like if you haven't played them already, pick them up. They're awesome.
Yeah, they are. Except Partners in Time. That's like the weakest one. It's good, but has some issues.
But yeah, unexpected. Definitely unexpected.
Okay, so the next one is, seems people are confusing their hatred for the digital event show as hatred for Nintendo and their games and consoles. Lots of go third party, Wii U is dead, NX and all that stuff. Anyone can explain this to me? I'll take it, and I'll make it very simple.
Expectations.
Well, it's like I said, there are three camps of people who follow Nintendo. You've got just people who just like to hate on Nintendo, because Nintendo is the last of the old guard, and they want, they want the old guard gone so that this new shit that we have now can take over. And
yay, great games.
Yeah, gray. No quality put into games. Just like the future of gaming is Order 1886, where you spend $60 for a 5-hour game with no multiplayer, no replayability, but it looks gorgeous. And if that's the future of gaming, so help me God, if Nintendo leaves the gaming market,
have you seen the funding for Yooka-Laylee? That blows my mind. People won't buy a Nintendo console, but they will fund this game.
Because the industry has fooled people into thinking you want gray and boring and short and not fun, and you need to have it be realistic, and the main character needs to look like he's either got hemorrhoids or he's trying to hold in a fart.
I don't know, but I have friends who have backed Yooka-Laylee with more money than it would cost to buy a 3DS, but they won't buy a 3DS.
Yeah, it's look, man. People, like I said, people hate people. But you've got people who just hate and want Nintendo to go. Then you've got the faux Nintendo fans who say, "Well, I like Nintendo, but I wish they were like they were during the SNES days." I hate to break this to people who say that, but Nintendo has actually gotten better as time has gone on. Like, their games have gotten better. Like,
if
Mario,
why don't they buy things like Mario Maker?
Mario 1, 2, and 3 are good games. They are. They're good. They're solid. But they're not as good as Super Mario World on the SNES, which isn't as good as Super Mario 64, which arguably isn't as good as Super Mario Sunshine, which damn sure is not as good as Super Mario Galaxy, which is surpassed by Super Mario Galaxy 2. In all their franchises, they're constantly pushing and trying to get better, which is something that we don't see in a lot of other first-party development houses and console manufacturers who have the same thing going on under their roof. And, I don't know how you can be a Nintendo fan, but you want them to be like everyone else. Which leads to the final question, which is... Oh, and the last group of people just get way too hyped about Nintendo. Okay, here's the thing. I used to think Nintendo could do everything, but their company, they fuck up, they make mistakes. Fortunately, they tend to nowadays learn from their mistakes far easier. And when it's something that they can't easily rectify, they'll fight through it. Like, Wii U was a mistake for Nintendo, like them trusting third parties, them not, basically having games ready to go, first-party, high-power games ready to go for the Wii U at launch. That was their mistake. Now they're fighting their way to make it profitable. And technically speaking, considering it made more money, even though it was outsold by the PS4 by huge amounts, they still made more money than Sony's gaming division. So, I mean, they must be doing something right if they're getting sold, if they're selling less units hardware wise, but making more money. It's weird, I know. It's a business.
I guess for me it's really weird though with Nintendo because I've heard all the pros and cons of the early Wii U years, but there was so much innovation that Nintendo pushed not only out themselves but out of other companies in that first sort of 6 months. When you look at the Need for Speed games and all the night and day controls and everything from the gamepad, your Batman things. Hell, Lego City is the most innovative Lego game in the last 10 years.
It's the most innovative GTA game in the last 10 years, too.
Red Fox, which answer is this one?
The Nintendo digital event was disappointing, sure, but does that justify how people are acting? We already talked about that one.
So it's people's opinions. I think people's opinions depend on what they go into things looking for.
Yeah,
I went into the Wii U looking for what I always look for with Nintendo, using the hardware to innovate the game. And I enjoyed my Wii U and have done since day one, droughts be damned.
Well, I'm not going to go that far.
Well, here's the thing.
Going expecting it to be, I played Lego City, I don't know, 18, 90 hours plus, and I still haven't finished every little thing in that game.
I still boot that game up and just get in the cars and just run around, run over little Lego people. It's like GTA, but with Legos. It's fun.
Here's the thing with me with that question. I don't think I've ever woke up in the morning, looked at Sony's or Microsoft, okay, maybe Microsoft, but Sony's E3 and go like, when they lost me, I didn't went out and shout and say, Sony, die. No, I just said, Sony, do better next time.
Well, I wasn't expecting. Like, here's the thing: my bar was so lowered on the Sony press conference. All they had to do was show me Ratchet and Clank, like an extended demo with some gameplay. I would like,
after watching EA's performance going before Sony, I was half asleep anyway.
Yeah, but then I mean, we'll save that for the thing. We'll save Sony's thing for Saturday. But when we do the whole E3 thing. But last question from Anderson Archella is Star Fox U will not have online multiplayer. Hooray for me, but what about you guys?
Fuck that.
Look, Star Fox doesn't need online multiplayer.
Fox, what did I explain to you earlier? My friends who play that game with me growing up, you understand, I'm about to turn 30 years old in November. I'm not going to have another 30-year-old come over to my house and play fucking Star Fox, bro. It's just not happening. You know what I'm saying? It's not happening.
Here's the thing. When I played Star Fox, my favorite Star Fox is not Star Fox 64. It's Star Fox on the SNES. That game was a single-player experience. I never really wanted to play Star Fox with other people. I'm okay with it not having multiplayer. Look, if the game is spot on, then I don't care about anything else.
Fox, that was the best time. Like, real talk. My favorite time in gaming was Dreamcast to N64 because all of those multiplayer games that my friends and my family grew around playing 007, Perfect Dark, Star Fox multiplayer. Do you know how many fucking fist fights we got into?
Dude, look, I'm not attacking your opinion. I'm saying that me personally, I could care less about multiplayer. I'm not saying it shouldn't be there. I'm just saying it's not going to preclude me from buying the game if it doesn't have it. It's the same way I feel about voice chat. It's like, look, people who are like, oh, it must have voice chat. I don't care. If the game looks fun, Star Fox on the Wii U looks fun. I'm going to get it because it's fun.
Everyone's entitled to their opinion, but if I look at it for Nintendo for the long haul, which is what Nintendo tend to do, all the backwards compatibility and virtual console and everything else, if they want this Star Fox to be something that they can carry 2, 3, 4 generations down the line, they need the game to be core on-console experience, not online. If the network goes down and they lose all that compatibility, the core game campaign has to be what carries it in the generations to go forward.
I mean, look what happened.
For me, the campaign is the most important thing in any game.
I mean, have people forgotten that Halo had to be redone? Halo 1 and 2 had to be redone for the Xbox 360 because they took the servers online for Halo 1 and 2 finally. I mean, and people were pissed because people were still playing that game on the Xbox One. I mean, sorry, the original Xbox, not the Xbox One.
Okay, move on.
Guys, thank you for having me in the podcast.
You gotta bounce.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
got to bounce. Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta bounce.
Yeah, I got to eat. I'm really hungry. So talk to you
Cool,
later,
dude.
guys.
Peace. We're about to end this podcast. Everyone give their sign-offs, and I'll go last.
Okay.
This was just a little short, because the second part will be this evening at a time to later be determined. No, I have the event right here. I don't know why I said a time later be determined. It will be at 7 today.
Yeah, and yeah, I just want to say that keep supporting Nintendo. For me, it's the one of the few big developer companies that actually make good fun games. But just let's be more critical about when they screwed up a little bit. But well, okay.
Cool.
Hey,
Have a nice day.
Before you leave,
Well,
there was one year I was actually really pissed off at Nintendo. Anyone remember that one year that Nintendo just came to E3 and they really did not have no freaking thing to show for? They just
2008. Yep,
Yeah.
I remember that pretty clearly.
You mean
That
Wii
was-
Music and Wahoo Island, and that dude with the mohawk trying to look like he was jamming on drums, but he had Wiimotes in his hand.
Oh, geez.
No, there was
I was
one
mad.
before that.
That's the only year that I
No,
was
there was
like,
one before.
Nintendo.
you're talking about the Nintendo Land E3?
No. It was the E3 where they showed Wii Music. That
Yeah.
was the year I was pissed at Nintendo. Other than that, I really don't. Because here's the thing.
guy
I
with
really get hyped up.
the guy with the Wiimote drumstick.
Yeah, that guy. If I found that guy in the alley, I would kick him in the nuts.
Well, at least it became a really funny gif.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay, bye.
Okay, so you gotta go.
Okay.
So peace.
Yeah. Later. Bye.
All right, take care, TGP.
You too, guys. Bye.
Yeah.
All right. Where
So
were we again?
I mean, you gotta give your sign-offs.
Oh, my name's RJ. It was nice to be on the podcast. It was kind of a nice little debate we had, and hope to be in the next one.
All right. Guys, this is PC. You can find me on YouTube, PC Rock Howard. Well, excuse me, PC Rock 1985 or PC Rock 85. Just want to say once again, thank you for inviting me, Fox.
Peace.
You know, me and him, we may have different of opinions on certain things, but me and him share a lot of opinions on certain things too. So, thank you guys for having me, and support whatever makes you happy, man.
Yep. Cool. Okay, who wants to go next?
I'll go next. Hey guys, I'm Highland Gamer. I'm on YouTube and on Google Plus if you want to check out any of my stuff. I'm covering a lot of kind of condensed versions of the E3 conferences, so if you haven't seen them, you can check out a bit shorter versions on my channel. It's been nice to be in this podcast and just to sort of discuss our opinions openly rather than sort of flame warring on everybody. I think, like what the other guys have said, we need to be critical of when things are wrong, but it doesn't need to be, hate on a brand of any kind. I might have pros and cons for Sony or even EA, but each of these companies do have good things, and we need to push them to be better.
Well,
All right. I guess it's your turn, Triple M.
Right. Well, it's been a freaking good discussion over here, even with the difference of opinion. But we can sure respect each other's opinion, unless the ones out there who just want to, go blind hate. But hey, that's their choice, and they might probably miss even the small stuff that actually comes out of it that's pretty darn good. But hey, such is the world that we live in. But this has been Triple M, the Lone Wolf, and Fox for Games that pops up in my artworks, and this was rather interesting indeed.
Okay then.
Disappointing, but rather interesting indeed.
Okay, it's me, Mr. Red Fox. This was just a short little cast. We were just going to talk. This is part one. We'll get into depth about how we feel about it, like pros, cons, because I know more information is going to come out as the day goes on. So we might get some more information to clarify our opinions, because it's very difficult to form a clear opinion if you don't have all the information in hand. So it might have different members at the time later on today. So look forward to that. The next podcast will be, the part 2 of this will be at 7 today Eastern Standard Time, which, I mean, some people who are in the UK, that's like 5 hours later. So that's like midnight. It's midnight. It's midnight for them. So for those people, if you got to work in the morning, this is my vacation. So my 2 week
I'm on holiday, so I don't know. I might be here.
Yeah, so, if you want to come, you can. If you don't want to come, you don't have to come. But it's going to be awesome. Look forward to that. I also, I will be out of town Thursday and Friday, so you can message me, but I'm not going to answer it.
Fox, can I please mention one thing real quick?
Go ahead.
Okay, just on the Star Fox with the online thing. Some people have their opinions about Star Fox in the online, and that's fine. But Nintendo thought Star Fox was good enough on the DS to have online. So if they don't feel that way about the Wii U one, it says a lot. That's all I'm saying.
It depends on what gameplay experience is being delivered. For example, Metroid Prime Echoes had multiplayer, but it was local multiplayer. But a game released a year later, Metroid Prime Hunters, that had online and voice chat. So I mean, it's not like, it just depends on what type of experience you're aiming for. But anyway, so
the game ain't finished yet, guys.
well, I mean, not just that. It just depends on what the developer is going for. Like, some games don't work. Like, the best part of multiplayer for me is local. I prefer local multiplayer. I'm not a huge fan of like when Smash Brothers came out, I invited my friends over to my man cave and we played Smash Brothers, and that was fun. I ordered some pizzas. There may not have been beer consumed in epic quantities, and we played games, and it was great. It was like I was that kid in high school again, hanging out with my buds. Some of these were my friends from high school, and I was hanging out with my buds. But that's another point. Like, you can't duplicate that experience online. But that's just me.
My wife, she just wanted to mention something real quick. She said hi, and she likes your videos, and she said that the Wii U, that Nintendo is treating the Wii U like a redheaded stepchild.
No, I think that's third parties treat.
I would disagree with that because
3DS gets all the love.
Well, I mean, because the 3DS has a 50 million install base. I mean, what?
So then why can't we get the Wii U to that?
Because the reason we can't get the Wii U to 30 million install base is because when it launched, Nintendo made a series of mistakes, which I documented earlier in my thing. They made some dreadful mistakes. For example, if I'm Nintendo, I'm not going to trust third parties at all for anything. It would have been better had Nintendo let the Wii U go, like, if they'd held it back for a year so that it could have launched with Super Mario 3D World and a more refined version of Nintendo Land with maybe an online multiplayer component, because I know a lot of people are complaining about that. I personally, Nintendo Land was fine to me. My issues with Nintendo Land, online multiplayer wouldn't have addressed them, but I digress. But anyway, that's just how I feel about it. But anyway, that's the end of this podcast. We'll see you guys later on with part 2. Maybe not the same people, maybe some of the same people. I have no idea. Good day.
Good day.